Welcome to AfriFreedom Channel, your trusted platform for authentic, uncensored African narratives and critical sociopolitical updates across the continent. If you're new here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your engagement is crucial in amplifying these conversations that shape our collective future. And as always, we invite you to drop your opinions in the comment section below, respectfully, passionately, and constructively. This is a community that values every voice. Disclaimer: the views and perspectives shared in this video are intended for educational and informational purposes only. AfriFreedom Channel promotes dialogue and awareness. We do not endorse violence or unlawful actions. We encourage peaceful and informed civic engagement guided by respect for all individuals and institutions. History was written on the streets of Accra, Ghana, where ordinary citizens came out in unprecedented numbers to express solidarity. Solidarity with Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, three West African nations currently redefining their paths away from neocolonial influence. In a rare show of Pan-African unity, Ghanaians marched, not for personal gain, but to declare their support for their brothers and sisters pushing back against foreign domination and military imposition. This was not just a protest, it was a declaration. A bold statement that African unity is not a dream, it is alive, breathing, and growing stronger. These acts of solidarity need to be documented in our history books, not just for future generations, but to correct the colonial narrative that often erases African agency and collaboration. But we must ask ourselves, when was the last time we saw this level of African unity, from one sovereign people standing in full support of another? What does this say about the future of our continent if such alliances continue to grow? Could Pan-Africanism finally be transitioning from ideology to active reality? Tell us what this moment means to you in the comments below. In a different corner of the continent, the streets of South Africa erupted with a very different but equally powerful energy. Highways were shut down, schools were closed, and a resounding cry swept through communities as Cyril Ramaphosa must step down. The message was clear: South Africans are fed up. Years of economic hardship, load shedding, corruption, and
ifoway asikhona ukungena thuye imoto zingenile ziyolayisha abantwana mara angeziphuma na ifoway ivaliwe.
Employment and inequality have finally boiled over. The people are no longer whispering their grievances, they are roaring them in unison. This isn't just political discontent, this is revolutionary frustration. The shutdowns were not spontaneous, they were a collective statement against a leadership that many feel has failed to deliver on its promises. But how did we get here? What does it take for an entire nation to risk everything and demand change from the very top? Is this the breaking point South Africans have long feared, or the beginning of a new dawn? What role should the youth play in shaping this future? Let us know how you view this wave of resistance. When France's President Emmanuel Macron recently criticized African nations for being ungrateful after expelling French troops, Burkina Faso's transitional leader Ibrahim Traoré did not hold back. Il y a une partie qui a retenu mon attention, là où il parlait d'ingratitude, et que l'ingratitude est une maladie non transmissible aux humains. Lui, il est humain, notre ingratitude n'est pas transmissible à lui. Voilà comment ce monsieur voit l'Afrique. Voit les Africains. Nous ne sommes pas des humains à ses yeux. Peut-être que c'est lui qui n'est pas humain, il ne se met pas dans la classe des humains. Mais s'il y a bien un ingrat, c'est bien lui. Je pense que s'il n'est pas athée et qu'il prie,
À chaque matin qu'il se réveille et qu'il prie, il devrait aussi prier les Africains. Parce que c'est grâce à nos ancêtres qu'il existe aujourd'hui une France. Il devra nous prier. À ses yeux, nous ne devons pas être des humains, nous sommes plus que des humains.
Response was unapologetic, unapologetically African, then deeply rooted in historical memory. He reminded Macron and the world that France's wealth, power, and very existence owe a profound debt to African labor, resources, and sacrifice. France exists because of Africa. If anyone should pray, it is Macron. He should pray to Africans and their ancestors, Traoré said, a statement that shook diplomatic tables across continents. This was not merely political rhetoric. It was a long overdue reckoning with centuries of exploitation dressed as cooperation. Traoré's words reflect a growing sentiment across the continent Africa remembers. Africa is awakening. And Africa will no longer be silent. So we ask you, should African leaders everywhere begin to speak with this level of assertiveness and truth? Does this mark the rise of a new generation of African leadership that speaks for the people, not foreign interests? Share your thoughts below, this conversation needs your voice. Africa is stirring. From the streets of Accra to the highways of Johannesburg, from the spirit of Sankara to the voice of Traore, we are witnessing a rebirth of African consciousness. These moments, these brave acts of unity, protest, and defiance, are not isolated. They are connected by a larger truth: the African people are reclaiming their dignity, their power, and their destiny. The winds of change are blowing strong. But the question remains, are we ready to sustain this momentum? Or will it fade into history like so many uprisings before it? If today's video has moved you, challenged you, or inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to AfriFreedom Channel. We are not just observers, we are participants in the making of a new Africa. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's build this movement together, one voice at a time. Until next time, stay conscious, stay courageous, and stay committed. This is AfriFreedom Channel. The revolution is televised.